Weekly mortgage applications data has just been released. Oh my God, I didn't know that was the day. Diana Olick joins us now with the numbers. Hey, Diana.
Hey, Joe, it is the day. Yeah, and another sharp drop in mortgage rates caused a run on refis. Applications to refinance a home loan jumped 58% last week compared with the previous week and were 70% higher than the same week a year ago. That, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Now, the refinance share of mortgage activity is now nearly 60% of total applications. This is the average rate on the 30-year fixed for conforming loans dropped to 6.39% from 6.49% for.
Listen, let's go back to this part right here. Listen, they can try and trick us all they want in the media and, oh my God, mortgage rates are dropping and what this means for home buyers, and everybody's rushing to get those applications in so they can finally refinance their homes. Don't fall for it. I'm not falling for it. Let me explain my personal situation. I just got married last month, actually, in August. My wife and I are now at that stage. We're both in our 30s. We're happily married. We're newlyweds. We plan to have a kid very soon. And because of how ridiculously expensive and insane the housing market in the United States has become, we're like, hey, are we going to buy a house eventually? Yes, eventually we're going to buy a house. But right now, with this absolutely insane, crazy housing market, we are not buying a home right now. I personally think that depending on where you live, renting is the better option. Don't let them trick you by saying, oh my God, rates dropped so much. They went from 6.4% to 6.1%. Not that big of a drop in my opinion. I need to see at least 4%, at least, maybe 5, 4 to 5%. I don't expect 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is what you had during COVID. I can tell you right now, that's probably never going to happen. But more importantly than these crazy rates is the goddamn price. Take me, I live in Chicago. The house that I grew up in literally has gone up 100% in value from 2019 till now. Not joking. You are seeing homes that in 2019 were selling for, a 3-bedroom in a nice neighborhood with a good school district in Chicago was going for $250,000 in 2019. 2024, that same home all of a sudden ballooned to $450,000 with a 7% interest rate. Are you crazy? Like, this housing market is nuts. It's nice that the mortgage rates are going down, but my problem more so is the price. I want to see prices really come down more so than the mortgage rate, because if the mortgage rates go down to 4 or 5%, people start rushing. What's going to happen is people are going to rush to refinance, and all they're going to do is they're going to take their problems that they had and they're going to push it on to you. So all they're going to do with that refinance and stuff. I want to see prices come down. I'm not trying to time the market. I have no idea when the market's going to crash. I'm not saying the market will crash. I don't know. But what I do know is with these seriously, we looked, I'm not even joking with you guys, the neighborhood that me and my wife plan to live in Chicago, the neighborhood that we plan to live in and raise kids, raise a family, a 3-bedroom home is significantly cheaper to rent than it is to buy. I'm not joking. It really is. If we buy that same place, if we rent, people are going to look at us and say, oh, the rent's high. You guys are idiots. You're not blah, blah, blah. I don't see a home as an investment. That's just my opinion. I really do not see a single family 30-year mortgage home as an investment. I don't see it as that. I see stocks as an investment. That is my main investment vehicle. Apple, the SP 500, Tesla, Google. Those are investments to me. You know why I don't see a house as an investment compared to stocks? Because when you buy a home, there's this annoying thing called taxes and all these miscellaneous fees and closing costs. And you got to put a 20% down payment. And oh, wait a minute. When you live in the house, there's this thing called maintenance. So what if your HVAC goes out or your AC or blah, 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 blah? You couple that with these absolutely insane mortgage rates and prices, People are getting smoked. And what you're seeing is you're seeing an entire generation of people that are house poor. Now, I already know the truth. A lot of our parents are house poor as well. Grandparents are in a different story. Most of our grandparents, they had it easy. A lot of them, their homes are paid off. They probably got 2 homes by now. They got it good. But that Generation X generation, a lot of them are house poor. They bought a house that's just way too expensive for them. And in millennial generation, my generation, they're house poor because they don't want to get a starter home, which I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to get a starter home either. But I also don't want to get a $500,000 home, which some of them are doing. And what's happening is these people, my generation millennials, are getting these homes with these crazy interest rates and these crazy prices. And in my opinion, they're overpaying. And once you're overpaying, now you're in a situation where, God forbid, you lose your job, or God forbid the HVAC goes out. Now you got to come up with $10,000, $12,000 that you don't have in cash. Bottom line, folks, is it's a sad situation. But right now in the United States, we are living in a country where right now it's looking like majority of the country is never going to be able to afford to buy a home. Let me remind you that the average household income, that means 2 people married living under the same roof. The average household income is $80,000. The average income of an American is about $40,000. Not everybody's a big time CEO or manager or big time, a coder or a doctor. Not everybody's that. Most people are just regular schmegular making average income. How in God's name are those people going to ever be able to buy a home? I got the answer for you. They're not. So don't fall for this foolishness. People on CNBC, the applications are coming in. It's looking good and things are going to get better. It's too expensive. It's not reasonable. And unfortunately, we've been tricked. We all were brainwashed and taught that the American dream is buying a home and you got to buy a home. Grandma bought a home and dad bought a home and mom bought a home and everybody buys a home. You got to buy a home, buy a home, buy a home. It's this thing in America where you find a wife, you get married, you have kids, you buy a home. I'm here to tell you now, you could do the wife and kids part. Buying a home, I don't know. My opinion, there's nothing wrong with renting a home. At some point, it probably will make sense to buy a home for security. But I do not believe that buying a home is an investment. I think buying a home is just security. We're plopped here. Our kids are going to live in this neighborhood. We're going to be a big part of the community. Our kids are going to go to school in this neighborhood. And that's really what buying a home is about to me. But honestly, from all the horror stories that I've heard and all the things that I've seen, buying a home is not all it's cracked up to be. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm renting. And I could give you guys the numerous things that have broken since I've been renting. The washer and dryer broke. Something was wrong with the AC. That had to be fixed. The blah, 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 this and that and whatever. It's just always something. Difference with being a renter is I don't got to worry about that. The landlord does. So cool. I don't mind my rent going up $50 to $75 next year if I don't got to spend thousands of dollars to fix the dang washing machine and the dryer. That's all I'm saying. So that's just my opinion. Don't let them trick you with this whole, the mortgage rates are going down. I want to see 4%, okay? At least 4.5%. And I want to see the prices go down. Just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.